And then fun. How did you have fun? Uh-oh.
Fun was my lowest score on this one. I give it a 5. And I...
Hey, thanks for joining us, Evil Cheese. I'm Eric.
I'm Casey.
And we're taking a look at, randomly, the Final Flicktier. I was at my FLG not too long ago, and they have a sort of like a second-hand rack, or like giant rack, actually, like where people like
used games.
Used games, okay. Yes. But this was in shrink. This was in shrink, so they just sold it, you know, for whatever they could get for it. Yeah, or reshrunk it. I don't know, whatever. But I was like, something about this just intrigued me. I never heard of this. Yeah. I'd never seen it. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy it and we're gonna do a review of it. So here we are.
Here it is.
The Final Flicktier. Casey, imagine you're playing tumbling dice.
Okay.
And then you're like, hey, what if this was in Twilight Imperium?
What if I had a faction?
Yeah.
And what if I was trying to find resources?
Yeah, but I was trying to also flick your
but it's also
your
dexterity.
Yeah, yeah. That's what this game tries to achieve. Does it? Well, let's take a look at the overview, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it.
Alrighty, and here's going to be a brief overview. I have a 2-player game of the Final Flicktier, sort of mid-progress here. Players are going to start with their own unique faction here, and so right now we have this blue faction and this yellow faction. Players also start on a unique homeworld to them. Over here we have our pool of resources. Points that you can accumulate for winning combats. This is exploration tokens and missions with 3 available missions that players can aim to achieve. Players on their turn are going to be taking 2 of these actions, and each action must be different. The first action here we have is move. This is going to be the main action, how you're going to get your dice, or what the game calls ships, out into the galaxy where you can spread your influence and control planets and gain resources. So for a move action, you can flick any ship and you're going to try to land on another planet. So each move action, you get 2 flicks. So that was number 1. I'm pretty close to this one. Boom, number 2. Perfect. If you flick yourself off of the board, that ship is gone. You can get it back later, and I will talk more about that. Another action you're going to have is build. So each faction, as I said, is going to have unique attributes to them. But each faction will have this circle building, and they will have a square structure as well. The cost associated is going to be on the side of each one. The circle ones can be placed onto planets where when you take the exploit action later, you can harvest those resources and help you build things more in the future. Square structures are going to be unique to the faction. They're going to have unique effects and abilities. And they are going to be worth different victory points as well. The circle structures for this Trade Federation faction each are going to be worth 2, and the warehouse square structures for these are going to be worth 3. Factions are also going to be able to take the upgrade action. Each faction is going to have a tech tree that they all share here on the left, and then a unique tech tree here on the bottom with unique abilities. In order to upgrade, you have to pay the cost associated to the next part of the tree, and then you will instantly get that ability. Next action we'll talk about is exploit. Wherever factions have a circle structure on a planet or a ship, when they exploit, they will take one of that resource from the resource pool up to a maximum of 3. So you can never gain 4 or more resources on a single turn. Another action players can take is going to be complete. These are for achieving the missions, and there's different missions types. There are deliver missions, which want you to have a ship on a particular planet and deliver a particular resource from your hand of cards. When you do that, you will gain the victory points associated with that. There's also exploration actions. There's going to be different parts of the galaxy that are sort of unknown, unexplored sectors. When one of these pops up, it's going to have an unknown value. When you get a ship to that location and you take the complete action, you'll gain whatever victory points are there. And then there's these last mission types where they want you to achieve various things. So for this one, for example, have a ship on 2 different home planets, not including your own. Home planets are the ones that are in the corner. Perfect. Players will also be able to take an attack action. Whenever a player takes an attack action, they're going to declare which ship they wish to attack with, and then they're going to declare which ship they plan to attack. You have 1 chance to do this when you take an attack action. Players are going to be playing 1 card face down for their attack, and the defending player will also be playing a card face down from the attack. These are the same cards that you use for resources, but as you can see, they also have combat boost values that will be unique to each card underneath. So players are going to play their hidden attack and defense cards, and then the player attacking is going to be putting this hyperspace token next to the ship they are attacking. The goal here is for the attacking player to make contact, to flick their ship dice that they are attacking with to make contact with the defending player's ship and bump it, but not so far that it extends the length of this hyperspace token. Let me see if I can do an example here for you. Boom, that was perfect. So that, you see, that was just a nice little nudge there that did not exceed the length of this hyperspace token, so therefore it was a valid attack. If it had gone beyond the hyperspace token, the attack would have been canceled, and then if I had missed completely, then that attack also would not have counted. But this is within the confines of the hyperspace token, so it's a valid attack. After that, players will add their card value to whatever value ended up on the pips of the dice after the nudging happened. So in this case, blue is 3, 4, 5 total attack power against a 3, 4, 5 defense power. Tie goes to attackers. Blue has won this attack. The enemy ship that was defeated will just go back to its home planet, and the attacker who was victorious gains one of these victory tokens. The cards that you use to attack or defend with do not actually get discarded. They will stay face up, flipped over in front of you next to your faction's card here, so that you could still use it to spend for resources here. So it's not like you have to trash your cards in order to use them to attack, which gives you a nice encouragement to actually take that attack action. And the last action we'll talk about is return. If ever you feel like you want to reset, or if you have ships that have been flicked off the board, you could take the return action, which is you will gain any number of your dice back and you can put them back on your home planet. So players are going to be doing that. They're going to be taking 2 actions on their turn. They're going to be flicking themselves across the galaxy. They're going to be landing. They're going to be building buildings on planets. They're going to be upgrading their special abilities. They're going to be exploiting. They're going to be exploring. And they're going to be attacking each other.
All right, and I just want to talk about some of the factions in this game, because a game like this, the asymmetrical factions is like the main draw for playing a game like this, and some of these are really neat. So here we have the Korabali Trade Federation. These guys are all about, trading and manipulating goods and delivering goods and getting points that way. So they can use warehouses to trade resources. So like I said, each faction has 2 different structures. The regular structure is just a place to gain resources, and the special one. And in this case, their special one is use warehouse to trade resources. So they're able to discard any resource to gain any resource of their choice back for it. That is really, really helpful, especially as you can see building these, you need a whole bunch of different kinds. And then they also have these claim tokens where they are able to essentially make it to where none of the other factions can achieve a delivery mission before they can. So they can sort of save it for themselves. And then they get +1 extra victory points for each delivery card they've achieved at the end of the game. So they're all about flying around, picking up stuff, and delivering. The Mechatron Protocol. These guys are all about fighting and exploration. One of their special abilities is they will win if they get this upgrade if they have the lowest number in combat. So ordinarily, you want your pips to be high on the dice, and you want to play higher numbers from your resource cards. Well, in this case, you want the lowest one. They also start with 2 d4s and 1 d6, so that's going to be much easier for them to get the lower numbers. They also have these hunter structures, which will give them victory. See, the victory points here are sort of an X value. They get victory points for every other token that is not from this faction that's on that planet. So the more stuff that's going on that planet, the more other enemy buildings that are there, the better off this faction is putting a hunter token on there. So that's pretty cool. The Surge, these are kind of the bug people. When you upgrade to this one, you will have a little bug token that you can flick from your home planet, and if it hits any enemy dice, that dice will then become the surges that player can use like their own until certain conditions can bring it back to the original owner. But that's pretty crazy. They're like a parasite race. They also are pretty weak too. They're the 2 d4s and only 1 d6. However, they have here this upgrade where if you get to there, your mothership can't be destroyed. So your big d6 dice counts as your mothership for this faction because it's the biggest one. Up there, that can't be destroyed. That is awesome. And then they also have these little hatcheries, which are 2 victory points. Pretty easy to build, so they're like spreading their eggs across the galaxy. You can upgrade them for more victory points. Really cool. The Santarzian Syndicate. So this is Santa. They have their workshops, which are only 2 victory points. But then they also have a bunch of presents. It's like 11 tokens or something. And what they're trying to do is he has 2 d6s and 1 d8. Well, the d8 counts as his sleigh with this faction, and basically what he's trying to do is he's flying around the galaxy dropping off presents on different planets. And you can see if you get up to here, +1 victory points for presents, and you have 11 that you can hand. You could drop a present off at every planet. You'll be getting a heck of a lot of points if you can pull that off. United Earth Alliance, yay, people! They have warp gates. They've developed warp gate technology. So basically, they're able to go around and put these little warp gates on planets. And at any time that you are on a planet with a warp gate, you could teleport your ship instantly to another planet with a warp gate. So that's pretty cool. 1 reflick per move action, huge, especially if you're not the best flicker. This is a great faction for that. And lastly, we have the Dominion of Doricor. These are angry people. They have destruction tokens, which, as you can see, is super expensive. But essentially they are doing is they're blowing up people's home worlds, which then nullifies their special ability at the bottom of their card. That is terrible, and that is awesome. They can also have this to gain up to 4 resources when exploiting. Awesome. And plus 2 victory points for homeworld destruction. So not only do they get 3 victory points for blowing up, it could be worth 5. That is a lot in this game. These guys are scary, and their home planet is a black hole off to the side of the game board because they have no home.
We're back. So that was an overview of the Final Flicktier. Interesting game, unique game.
Yeah. Some interesting ideas in there.
So we're going to talk about some things here. And the first thing we're going to talk about is components and presentation.
Yeah.
Casey, what did you think of the components? How did the game look? How did it feel?
Pretty good. A lot of them, a lot of it pretty standard dice, kind of your normal play mat thing that everything is on, cards, all that stuff, kind of regular.
Yeah.
So I gave it kind of a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty good. I've seen better stuff. I think I would have liked a little more like weight to things. I don't know, like there's so many flicking dice stuff that I feel like it could have felt a little bit better as you're moving things around the board.
I didn't think about that till you just mentioned it. That would have actually been really cool.
Yeah, like if the little cardboard things you put on there were heavier or more meaningful, or if the dice felt different.
Like a little more deluxeified components would have really gone a long way for a dexterity kind of game. Yeah. Which we'll talk a little bit more about that. But yeah, I gave it initially an 8, but you convinced me. I'm bringing it down to a 7, but it's really not that big of a deal because the components are good. Neoprene mat is nice, cards look nice, everything looks nice. Design and mechanics. Casey, please.
I gave it a 6.
Okay.
Because as fun as like flicking dice around were, I didn't really feel that was integral to like the gameplay. Like, imagine this game and take out the dexterity.
You would just have something like Scythe or like Eclipse or something like that.
You'd still be gathering resources. You'd still be building your stuff.
Well, I gave it a 9, actually.
Oh, okay.
I think the flicking and the integration thing is actually a lot of fun.
Okay. What if we go the other way? What if you took out the resource stuff and it was more just the dexterity and exploring and moving your dice around and stuff? Would you like it more that way? Or was this mix a pretty good level?
I feel like this mix was a really good level. I feel like I really feel like that. I really feel like it was a good level. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The going out, putting your ships in the galaxy and stuff like that. Sure. It could have just been moving out, but being able to flick it, and maybe you have a really awesome flick and you land on that faraway planet. And that saves you just a little bit extra action time. Okay. I don't know. I think that was really cool.
And maybe part of it was we were pretty good at it. Like I didn't feel like we were missing horribly and being able to not do anything on a turn.
Yeah, and that's something I thought they got really good too. Like the planets are big enough for you to land on pretty easily, but not too easy. Like, I mean, you still have to have a little finesse, a little, you're a little nervous. Even just going to the next planet, you're like, okay, just do a little flick. Oh shoot! But you do get 2 flicks for an action.
You get multiple chances. There's ways you can upgrade that and get more chances.
Yeah, you can upgrade, right? So I thought that actually was integrated very well. And the attacking too is also flicking too, where you don't want to flick too hard.
Right. You're not just trying to smash someone off the board.
But you could flick just hard enough to maybe screw up the numbers a little bit and maybe hopefully give yourself a little bit of advantage. Perfect. And then fun. How did you have fun? Uh-oh.
Fun was my lowest score on this one. I gave it a 5. And I don't know why. It's just a feeling. And you were talking about those moments of like, oh, I can't believe I made that shot. Yeah. Or, oh no, I didn't get to the right planet or something. I felt like that never happened. I was like, I'll just do whatever
Did it happen on your first turn?
The only one was I missed the planet, and so I didn't really have any other options to do. After that, you always have some choices.
Right. You had a lot of choices.
So, which leads me back to like, so what's the point of the dexterity? Like, if you always have stuff you can do, does it matter if I miss a planet? does it matter how good I am at flicking? I don't know.
Well, it's all about maximizing, you know, your faction's efficiency. And so if you do get those good flicks, you're going to be more efficient. You're going to be more maximized on that.
Okay.
Which is cool. I think that was cool. I gave this fun a 9.
9.
Yes.
Almost the funnest thing you could possibly imagine.
Well, it's just, I don't know. This game is like, for me.
Okay,
I don't know how else to say it. Like, I'm surprised because maybe it shouldn't be, maybe I shouldn't like it as much as I do, but I really do.
Well, let me compare it to some other things then.
Okay.
How fun on the fun rating would you give like Flick 'em Up or Tumbling Dice?
That would actually be lower.
Okay.
Flick 'em Up for sure. Flick 'em Up I thought had too much rules, too many weird things, like going into the saloon, that's how you like duel, and you go to this like mini game to duel.
Right.
That was too much. This is like right at the level what I would want, something where it's like you have real game, like almost like Euro mechanisms mixed with Amerithrashy, mixed with also flicking combat kind of thing.
True.
Yeah, I think this did a great job, a fantastic job of mixing those things.
Okay.
And a game that's not very long.
Yeah, it was quick.
It is quick. And so you could just get this going and you can get people into it.
Well, that can kind of move us right to our pros and cons. My biggest pro is it's fast moving.
Yes.
Your turns go quick. You just choose your actions.
2 actions.
Your action, you do your dice, whatever, collect my resources, move on.
Yes, that was a pro of mine.
Yeah,
quick,
so easy to
especially
go.
for this kind of game.
Yeah.
Because this resource managing, fighting, you know, I keep coming back to Scythe. Like, there's a lot of
stuff you can do, but once you do your actual
Scythe
turn
is
is fast.
quick-ish too for that kind of game. Doesn't go into, but it's very heady and it's all about efficiency and stuff. This one is to a degree, but fun is really and faction asymmetry is really where it wants to be, and it does a good job being there.
Yep.
There's a lot of variety in those factions.
Yeah,
a lot, and I would have even liked more. There's 10 in here, which is a good amount, but I think even with the design space they had, you could even do more.
Get to cosmic encounter levels of a deck of 900 factions.
But without it being too overwhelming. Like, I never was like, oh, I forgot to do this with my faction, or wait, how does that thing work? I mean, those things just don't happen in this game. Once you know what you're doing in about 4 minutes, everybody gets what's going on.
Okay.
Cool. So, you want to go to cons?
Sure.
Okay.
My biggest one is you don't think exists, because mine is the dexterity part I didn't find all that interesting. I feel like there's more ways it could have been spicier. And now this might have just been our playthrough. We didn't do a lot of combat. We didn't have a whole lot of like interaction with the AI guy of fighting or anything. So maybe that would add another level to the actual physical part of it that we just didn't do a whole lot. But I wanted more of it, or I wanted a little bit more interesting way of having that be incorporated versus just, I need to go here and then I'm playing a Euro game. Like, it didn't really feel like they were happening at the same time.
All right. Well, I thought they integrated pretty darn good. And I like the combat thing where it's like you want to flick, you're still flicking, and you want to hit the dice, but not too hard, but just hard enough where you might be able to screw up the dice a little bit. Yeah. So if you're at a disadvantage, maybe you can push yourself over the edge. Yeah,
sure.
I like that.
Okay. Any other big cons for
you? The cons I had was if you're really uncoordinated, let's say, and flicking is really hard for you, then
there's not a lot of fallback.
You will be at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
But you see the overview, you see the game, you see what we're talking about. Yeah. You'll know if you'll like it or not.
And that's probably true with any dexterity game, right? Like, if you're having a hard time flicking, you're not going to have a good time with Dungeon Fighter or any of these other ones where you have to do that. That's like core to the game.
Right. And then I have one more con.
Are you going to cry?
The name of this game.
That's a con?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I get it. I'm a Star Trek person. I get it. Okay. But the Final Flicktier, I feel like...
Is it leaning on it too much?
Yes. I feel like it could have had a wider audience if maybe it was called something, and I understand you want to have something flick like in the name, and
Right.
it is space,
So people
and
know what it is.
but and it's like a Star Wars, Star Trek, Mass Effect-y kind of galaxy that you're in that's full and populated
aliens and stuff.
with aliens. But the Final Flicktier, I don't know. I just feel like
The search for flick better?
yeah.
No? Okay.
No. I don't know. And maybe even the theme
could be something else.
have been something else, might have helped the game too. It works for the game because you're flying around galaxies and you're going from planet to planet and you're getting resources and all that stuff. But it is more of a niche sort of crowd that like will get into that. And I'm in that crowd. And I think that it does hurt the game a little bit just because it's not as accessible. Some people are going to be turned off.
If they go, oh, Star Trek, I hate it.
Star Trek or Star Trek,
there.
I don't care. I don't get it. Seems weird. This is the kind of game that should be sold at like Barnes and Noble or like Target or something. I personally think.
Sure.
And I think a lot of people would like it. But the theming as it is and the name, I think didn't do it any favors.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say about that. What you do moving forward, I don't know. But love the game. Oh, you want me to go first?
Sure.
Love the game.
Overall,
love it. And I played it solo too. It works fantastic solo. You have kind of an AI guy and it just says his D20 dice moves here. He puts a building over here.
He completes this mission.
He completes that mission and you're just reacting to that. Great. So you could play all the different factions against him and you basically change nothing. That is fantastic. This is a great solo game. And it's a solo game with dexterity, which you don't get a lot of. Yeah. Super quick, especially solo, 30 to 60 minutes. Love it. I give this game an extremely high recommendation. This is a game made like just for me. Good job, Gabe Barrett. All those cons and all that stuff is not for me. Yes, you found your audience. He's right here. All those cons I was talking about, I mean, those are really minor things. I personally actually do like this name. I think it's fun. I'm just talking about in a broader sense.
Sure.
But if this looks fun to you at all, if you're like me, if I had seen this and I would be like, dude, that looks awesome, you're going to like this.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't look fun to you, you're probably not going to like it.
Sure.
And that's okay. But the game doesn't pretend to be anything else.
Yeah. I would also recommend it. I think it's a good game. It's put together
well. Oh, you
do
recommend it?
I recommend it, not for me.
Okay. If
you like dexterity stuff, if you like flicking dice, this has that in there.
Yeah.
And it has other things going on that make it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a lot of replay value with the variety and stuff that's in there.
Cater the game to how you want to do it. Like, do you want to be fighty? Well, then go for that. Or if you want to be settlery, resource managey, just building buildings
and where you are matters for the resources, which is very good.
Picking up and delivering. There's a lot of different ways to play this game.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah.
And funly. That's a word.
Funly.
Yes.
Should we coin funly?
That's right.
Evil Cheese, copyright.
So, anything else?
Okay. Not really.
No, that's it.
It was fun to try.
Final Flicktier. There needs to be more games like this, I think. We'll catch you guys on the flippity flip.
Flippity
flick. Nice.